Next question is clearly with your observation you can give. You are aware of Nataraja Murti. I am saying bronze icons of Nataraja cast during the Chola period invariably show the deity with 8 hands, 6 hands, 4 hands and 2 hands. Now here options I am reading: 8 hands, 6 hands, 4 hands and 2 hands. Now this is everybody's lookout. My lookout is there 2 hands. But the different positions in dance is shown in single idol, and for that purpose many hands are there. But actual answer here is 4 hands during Chola period. The term Yavana-priya mentioned in ancient Sanskrit text denoted a fine, option A, a fine variety of Indian Muslim. Option B, ivory. Option C, damsels sent to the Greek court for dance performance. And D, people. Now, option A, but before that, you have to look what is the meaning of Yavana word. So try to recollect. Actually, the Yavan word is used in Indian epics or different books earlier than Greek invention also. But when Alexander the Great invaded India, part of India rather, at that time our people called them as Yavanans, most probably because these people were calling themselves as Ionian. So that corrupted word of Ionian, that should be there with Yavana, and we identified them as Yavan. Later on, Greeks repeatedly entered in India, particularly Demetrius, Menander. These two invaders reached till Ayodhya, and then next time they entered here as refugee, because Scythian people invaded their territory in Iran, and then they entered in India as refugee. They accepted Hinduism, or that we are calling that as Vaidikism or Buddhism. But these people were called as Yavanans because of their white color, blue-eyed nature, etc. Later on they mixed in our society. Maybe possible our ancestors may be Greek, or we may have Greek mixture. I am not saying everybody's ancestor, or don't blame that just by observing fair skin or not brown eyes, you should not say that that fellow is from Greece. But they mixed in our society. Even if you observe the caves at Karla, near you are aware of Lonavala and Khandala, if not near in between Mumbai and Pune. This territory is there, that is called as Karla caves, Bhaje caves, Bedsa caves. These caves are mainly constructed by Yavanans. They were Buddhist Yavanans. Now, this way the Yavan word was initially used for Greeks. But many Greeks were settled in parts of Arabia, parts of Iran, Central Asian part, and they were identified as Yavanas for several years. Then onwards, on spread of Islam, these people also accepted Islam. And Indians called Islamic invader as Yavana also. Means the word may be referred to Muslims, may be referred to Greeks. In many epics or ancient script, the Yavan word is confusing. And we are having doubt that we have to check out the era. And then we have to decide whether this word is used for Greeks or this word is used for Muslims. Now, people of Italy or Roman people, they were termed as harsh-speaking Yavanas. I don't know why, but they are termed as harsh-speaking Yavanas. So that word was used for Romans also. And therefore, Yavana Priya. Priya is favorite of Yavan. What is supposed to be the Yavana Priya? So obviously, as name indicate Yavana Priya, it is not connected with a fine variety of Indian Muslim. Because we may say Priya Yavan. Yavana Priya is not. And so option A is not there. Ivory may be there. Then damsel sent to Greek court for dance performance may be there. And people. Now with detailed knowledge we can have that people was considered as most important thing in Roman Empire. And they were having tremendous demand of these all materials, and therefore Sanskrit, because India earned a lot of gold from this trade, and therefore the Sanskrit text denotes Yavana Priya as people. So answer here, with knowledge only we can go. I am not using that elimination method here. So answer is D. Which one of the following monuments has a dome which is said to be one of the largest in the world? One of the largest in the world. A tomb of Sher Shah at Sasaram, Jama Masjid at Delhi, tomb of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, Delhi, Gol Gumbaz, Bijapur. Now I can observe monument, but I am not able to measure out everywhere what is the diameter of dome. So I have to go by my existing knowledge. We can search out, and answer that goes to Gol Gumbaz, Bijapur. It is said, say I observed that Gol Gumbaz. It is said that this Gol Gumbaz was constructed by Adil Shah, and Adil Shah was Turki ruler. He was Muslim, but Turki Muslim ruler of Bijapur. He called Irani, that means Persian architect, and he designed that thing. And Gol Gumbaz was constructed. Gumbaz means dome, that was constructed here. A miracle of sound is there, and that's why we are having contradiction. Actually, Gol Gumbaz is tomb of Adil Shah. Whereas, why sound miracle was there in the tomb? Because where we required tremendous peace. Just I have visited that Gol Gumbaz. Everybody visiting there was shouting loudly to get echo. Actually, thing is that something different. This is the upper part of dome, where we have here from inside the galleries. Suppose a person is standing over here and person is standing over diametrically opposite side. Then these two persons can talk with each other very nicely. Even if you use a coin, with two coins, suppose you are making noise, then from one person to another that noise is hearable. We can say this distance is actually very high. In normal condition, communication is not possible, but here communication is possible. Ashtapradhan was a council of ministers in option A in the Gupta administration, option B in the Chola administration, option C in the Vijayanagara administration, and option D in the Maratha administration. If you observe the video lectures, there we mentioned that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was having Ashtapradhan Mandal, that means council of 8 ministers to guide him, and so answer is D. Now I have to draw map. Please keep in mind, this map is drawn just for sake of convenience. This is not accurate map of India. Otherwise you may say that there is no Punjab and no Kashmir in map, because our map is mainly focused in this territory only. So in map, one path is shown. There is no name mentioned in map, only we have to guess that this path, the route indicated in the map, was followed during the course of his military exploits by. Go through the map, try to guess. Chandragupta II, Harshavardhana, Rajendra Chol, and Malik Kafur. With our knowledge, answer is Malik Kafur. And let us check out Chandragupta II. Chandragupta II was ruling from Patna, somewhere here. Whereas he was having wars with King of Gujarat. But this path was not followed by him. According to the map, this position is Delhi, this position is present day Aurangabad. In those days it was called as Devgiri. Later on it was renamed as Daulatabad, and now closest city to Daulatabad is Aurangabad. Harshavardhan. You are aware that Harshavardhan was stopped in North India only by Chalukya Emperor Pulakeshi II, and so this is not possibly path of Harshavardhan, because he was stopped somewhere in North India, MP. He was stopped by Chalukya king Pulakeshi II. Rajendra Chol. The Rajendra Chol was there from South India. He marched towards Kerala, towards Andaman, towards Java, Sumatra, etc. So there is no question that this way he must have invaded Delhi. So no. Whereas Malik Kafur was originally Gujarati Hindu. He was trapped by Alauddin Khilji in his early age, and then he was given name as Malik Kafur. Most probably he was eunuch. Most probably, because certain books are giving, certain books are not giving. But he was very much in favor, the favorite slave of Alauddin Khilji, and therefore the first invention of Alauddin Khilji reached till Devgiri. He returned back. At second time, because Ramdev Rai accepted suzerainty of Alauddin Khilji, Ramdev Rai's son Shankar Dev Rayagor refused to pay tribute, and then Alauddin Khilji sent Malik Kafur. Malik Kafur was able to defeat Shankar Dev Rai Yadav, and Malik Kafur returned back to Delhi. Again, after death of Ramdev Rai Yadav, this Shankar Dev Rai Yadav rebelled, and then Alauddin Khilji sent his army under leadership of Malik Kafur. Again, he told Malik Kafur as to destroy Ramdev Rai's kingdom, that is under leadership of Shankar Dev Rai, destroy that kingdom, establish Jummah Masjid at Devgiri, spread out Islam, and then don't come back, march towards South India as possible. And that's why Malik Kafur, with his massive army, able to reach till Devgiri, where Shankar Dev Rai was executed. Then he marched towards Warangal, and then till Kanyakumari. He destroyed almost all South Indian massive kingdoms over there. So this is the path shown by Alauddin Khilji's. Actually, supposed to be leader was Alauddin Khilji, but on behalf of him,